Welcome to Rebooking, the series where I look at horribly booked WWE storylines and wrestlers and make up a scenario about how I would do them. Today, we will be talking about how I would have booked The Fiend Bray Wyatt after WrestleMania 36. WrestleMania 36 had one of the greatest things that WWE has ever produced. It was so different and so genius, breaking and assassinating kayfabe and fourth wall all around. It was the thing that allowed The Fiend's character to be great again after his match with Goldberg. However, after WrestleMania 36, The Fiend has again been booked horribly. He is being used way too much, and ultimately I will say that he is misused. Alright, my turn. So, let's start at WrestleMania 36. I am keeping everything exactly same. John Cena gets destroyed by Wyatt, and his character basically gets assassinated. It was absolutely perfect and I would not change anything about it. So, after this I would start his feud with Braun Strowman. If booked correctly, this feud could have been great. See, in my booking, The Fiend does not challenge for the championships because there is nothing that a monster would do with that. So, this feud would be slightly different. The feud starts the night after WrestleMania. The Fiend cuts a promo on how he ended his business with John Cena, and now that he is done with friends, it's time for family. He says that The Fiend no longer cares about the championship, but Bray does. So, he challenges Braun to a match at Money in the Bank for the Universal Championship. Braun agrees, and says that at Money in the Bank, Bray will get these hands. At the event, Braun kind of destroys Bray to retain the Universal Championship. Next SmackDown, Bray says that he was not fully able to fight Braun because he is family, but sometimes, you have to teach your family lessons. This leads to the swamp match at the horror show Extreme Rules show. It is kind of similar to real life, but The Fiend attacks Braun to help Bray win the match and win the Universal Championship. After this, Braun turns heel and move on to Raw with Raw Underground. Also, here, we saw the seed to Alexa Bliss's descent to madness with The Fiend. After this, Bray appears in the Funhouse and is very happy for winning the championship. He says that this is a dream come true. He says that he will cherish every moment with the WWE Championship, and will be a very nice guy to all of his opponents. His first opponent for SummerSlam is Jeff Hardy. This is because both of them have a slight history and this could set up The Fiend versus Willow later down the line. Bray wins all on his own, and celebrates like a little child. Also, Roman Reigns returns to beat up Drew and Randy for the WWE Championship. He becomes the tribal chief of the Red Brand. His entire story with G and Jimmy Uso takes place just like it did in real life, but just on Raw. Next up is Clash of Champions. Bray says he is very happy that he was successfully able to defend the title all by himself. He is very happy with his performance. Next up, his next opponent is AJ Styles. AJ wins a #1 contenders match to get a shot at Wyatt's championship. AJ speaks that he is not afraid of Wyatt or The Fiend, and he will again become the champ that runs the camp. However, Wyatt wins clean and again enjoys it like there's no tomorrow. After this, the draft takes place. Here, the Universal Champion Bray Wyatt is the first draft pick for SmackDown, but Raw's third pick is The Fiend. This creates a way for Wyatt to defend the title at SmackDown and destroy the people he has had a history with. At Hell in a Cell, Wyatt defends the championship against Seth Rollins, and defends it successfully again. Wyatt is now built like a proper champ. This sets up Roman Reigns versus Bray Wyatt at Survivor Series. Wyatt says that he will play nice and not bring out his friend, and Roman says that he doesn't need Jay to defeat Wyatt. However, at the event, Jay distracts the referee so that Roman can hit a low blow and then a spear to pin Wyatt. After the match, Wyatt looks very angry. But that's not the end of Wyatt for the night. This night also is about 30 years of the dead man, The Undertaker. However, when Taker was walking out of the ring, The Fiend attacks him and takes him inside the Firefly Funhouse match. He talks about how Wyatt was supposed to be the next face of horror, the next face of darkness. But Taker denied him that throne once at WrestleMania 31 and also at Extreme Rules a few years ago. Wyatt says that the only way to take the throne is to finish off the last face of darkness. He literally buries Taker and sits on a black throne. Taker is never to be seen again. After this, TLC rolls around and this time, Daniel Bryan challenges Bray Wyatt for the Universal Championship. And with a big, great effort, Bryan wins the Universal Championship. After the match, Wyatt actually congratulates Bryan and raises up his hand. Even Bryan was confused by that. Next SmackDown, Wyatt says that he is very happy that Bryan beat him clean for the title and that he respects Bryan. However, it is for the best that Wyatt lost the title, since he will be a very busy boy the next few months. At Royal Rumble, The Fiend returns to face Willow, Jeff Hardy's alter ego. This is because Wyatt says he has some leftover business with the Hardys. Fiend destroys Willow and defeats him easily. Later that same night, The Fiend enters the Rumble. And this ties in with my Royal Rumble 2021 booking. Finn Balor enters the Rumble to eliminate Wyatt, and they have a match at WrestleMania 37. The match is Demon Balor vs Fiend Wyatt. Wyatt just barely pulls out the win. Following this, Wyatt gets in a feud with Kevin Owens, which carries on from Money in the Bank to Extreme Rules. KO gets the win in the first match and Wyatt gets the second. At SummerSlam, Wyatt will be facing Roman for the WWE Championship in a no disqualification match. Reigns reminds Wyatt that he already beat him once. Wyatt says that last time, Roman didn't play by the rules, and this time, neither will Wyatt. He says that most of the time, Wyatt wants to defend the championship all by himself, but this time, it's different. Roman did not want to play fair, and now it's his time. At SummerSlam, when Reigns was about to lose, G and Jimmy beat up The Fiend. That's when Braun Strowman comes out, beat up the Usos and then gets hit with a spear by Reigns, who gets choked out by The Fiend to finally defeat Roman to win the big gold. The Fiend, Strowman and Alexa Bliss now create a new faction, known as something like the Dark Regime. And that is it. That is how I would have booked The Fiend Bray Wyatt after WrestleMania 36. Let me know if you enjoyed it and what to rebook next in the comment section below. Be sure to like, share and subscribe, that will help out the channel a lot. Thanks again, see you in the next one.